All right, hi, welcome everyone. Today we have a Q&A from, well, I should say a question from Joseph. So we're doing Q&A today, all right? So I'm going to give an A to Joseph's Q. Are you ready? So here's Joseph's question. He says, if you can choose to do business with one, city, county, state, or federal, which would it be and why? So let me share what I told Joseph, in case you're pondering which agency or entity or sector of the government you want to go with. All right. So before we dive into that, real quickly, just for those of you that don't know, I'm Felicia Streeter over at FeliciaStreeter.com and the Contractor's Edge Bootcamp. I work with small business owners just like you, just like Joseph, that is looking to expand and become a federal contractor. All right, so back to Joseph's question. He asked again, if you could choose to do business with one city, county, state, or federal, which would it be and why? So I told Joseph it depends on a couple of things. And Joseph wanted an answer for his business, but that was all he asked. So here's how I would break that down with a client. Okay, so if you're pondering, this will work for you too. So first I said, it depends on who's your customer, right? Depending on what service or product you're providing, if you look at your business preferences, look at that potential customer preferences, then you can kind of determine one, who's your customer, okay? And when I'm talking about preferences, I'm talking about the type of contracts they're putting out, the dollar value of those contracts, where they located, things like that, which leads into location. Where do you want to do work, right? Do you want to just stay local? Are you okay with going all across the United States? Do you want to stay in a certain region? Now, these are the type of questions you need to be asking yourself, okay? And then you have to look at the length of the type of contracts that the city, state, county, or federal is putting out, and the length of contracts you want to do and that you're able to do. So, for example, if there's a federal contract out, everything being equal, but the term is like, it's going to take a year, and you're like, I can't cash flow that long. Or if it's in a particular location and you're like, I don't want to go that far, then that's not your customer today. Okay, it'll change over time. And I have my clients, we revisit this annually, because your business should be growing and evolving all the time, which means your customer could change, right? But ideally, we need to know who the customer is today. Okay, so then the next thing I said, look at your certifications. What certifications do you have, and which agency or county or sector of the government accept that particular certification? For example, your DBEs, your MWEs, let me see, MBEs, DBEs. So really your disadvantage, your minority certifications, the woman-owned certifications is usually accepted state and county, right? So if you have that certification, great place to start looking. If you have something like service-disabled vet, woman-owned, federal hub zone, hence federal projects, right? And then look at what advantages you have in the market, and in choosing whether state, local, county, or federal, what advantages do you have in that sector, okay? As well as what resources do you have to fulfill at that level. So really, let's recap this. Some of the things that you want to look at in determining who's your customer, and then I'm going to answer his question as it relates to me and if I was trying to make this selection, okay? So who's your customer, the locations you want to work in, the length of the contracts that you want to do, what certifications you have, what advantages do you bring to the table, and what resources you have will all help you determine whether to go city, county, state, or federal, right? As well as your customer preferences. What are their preferences, as well as your business preferences, okay? And if I'm talking a foreign language to you, definitely check out the Contractor's Edge Bootcamp, because we go over all of that, okay? But answering back to his question, so if it was me personally, and say, for example, I said I'll go all over the U.S. If it makes dollars, it makes sense, right? For me. I don't mind doing long-term contracts, and most of your larger contracts will be longer term, like when you start getting into those $1 million contracts. Some that's 500,000 could take you even months, so you just have to be aware of that. If you want quick cash, you may be, just starting out 25K, that kind of thing, 50K. You can probably turn that in a month, right? Certifications, so service disabled vet, woman owned, DBE, Texas Hub, right? So most of the certifications, which means I could go federal, state, city, or county. What advantages do I have? I have the insurance, I have the bonding, I have the resources of people, I have the past performance, and I have the resources to make it happen, whether it's the cash flow, floating the project, resources in people, resources in software to make it happen, right? Everything, I have the whole umbrella, which means I could pick them all. I could do them all. So again, remember I said if it makes dollars, it makes sense. So then I'm not going to limit myself to just one of them. Okay? But if you're just starting out and you want to, as I call it, pinky toe in it or baby step it, then pick one. Like, which one makes the most sense for you, Joseph? Which one will give you faster entry to be able to bid a contract fast and correctly? Start with that one. Okay? If you need help walking through that, definitely check out the Contractor's Edge Bootcamp, because we talk all about bids and things like that. We actually have a monthly bid day. Oh yeah, that's really cool. So you can read that on the website. And I'm actually helping you and looking over your bids and stuff, helping you make selections, like this process here when you're like, oh, here's this opportunity. Should I bid it? And so we walk through that kind of thing. So definitely check out the Contractor's Edge Bootcamp if you have more questions. It's over at the contractorsedgebootcamp.com. And that was my A to your Q, Joseph. All right, so I'll see you guys back here next week. Have an awesome rest of your day. Bye for now.